Hey guys, this is EA Sports from the Plamo Report, and today we'll be reviewing the first ever MG in this channel, the MG Gundam Kyrios. This has been released not so long ago here in the States, and it is an excellent follow-up from the last year's MG Dynamis. What's included in this kit are several different type of weapons and hand parts for posability and actions, and there's also some interesting gimmick with the LED sold separately, and also a transformation gimmick as this is a transformable mobile suit. Alright, that was the overview of the MG Kyrios. Now let's take a closer look. So as shown in the anime, this has a very sharp and slick silhouette that everybody would love. It kind of remind me of the Zeta Gundam of all the sharpness over here. So one thing to point out is that I love the orange color of this kit. It's kind of a darker orange than the original 1/100th and also the HG. So I really like that part of this kit where the color really stands out. Looking at it very closely, this kit really didn't have that many stickers, and already the color separation is very well done. Some of the extra things that you'll see right here are going to be the clear green parts that you see right here, and the holographic part that you see here that represents the GN cable. This one is a soft plastic, and it's really well done. So you could find these in the thighs, the elbow, and also you can't really see it that well, the top of the head. Looking in the back, there are more details on the mold lines from the back of the leg, the back of the arm, and also this tail piece that you see right here. So this tail piece right here also you could expand it throughout, and then it opens up the GN drive that's inside here. This one is a LED unit, so all you have to do is pop it out and then insert the LEDs. Unfortunately, it's sold separately. There are some few back pieces that may be a trouble when you're trying to pose the kit. So there is this shoulder wing that you see right here. It's in a ball joint. However, when you look at it closely enough, when you're trying to pose something, this sometimes get in the way. So the one thing that you should be able to do is you should be able to fold it this way or even pose it up, and so that it won't be in your way. The articulation of this kit is very similar to the MG Dynamis, but there are some few changes. So first and foremost, the head itself, you could extend it up to look at it from the up, down, and then left or right. So it has a very free movement. The shoulder itself, it's in a very interesting gimmick where if you want to extend it further out, you have to pull it aside and then you could put it further in. I really love this kind of gimmick as it gives you more way of articulating this kit. The shoulder itself has this really weird joint that you see right here, and this is because of the transformation gimmick, so they have added this in there. However, you can see that the shoulder itself, you can move on its own, and you could move further up. At this rate, Kyrios can do the last shooting pose with all its articulations so far. As today's standard, the Kyrios' elbow is a double joint, and you could see how far it goes out. And then as you extend it through, you could also see the holographic film that you see right there. The wrist itself has an additional articulation where you could articulate it from back and forth and off to the side. And this is because of the structure that you see right here. So this one is actually a joint and it's movable. So you could have Kyrios do a lot of different poses with his wrist. The torso has a very weird gimmick where you can move Kyrios side to side. The Kyrios has a very interesting movement on the torso where you can move the kit side to side. Kyrios can also lean back forward and also go backwards. Since there are no side skirts for the Kyrios, it is very easy for Kyrios to do some sort of split. The Kyrios just by itself can lift its leg up till this much. However, there is a gimmick that could extend the torso line even further down. So once you pull it up together, you can see the torso just went down. You could have Kyrios to go further up. However, because of the wings on its knee, this is the farthest it can go. Surprising enough, Kyrios' back skirt also has an articulation point, so at first you won't see it moving along, but if you pull it out a little bit, once you release the lock, you could lift it up to this much, allowing Kyrios to even kick back even further. Despite Kyrios' leg being very complicated, it has a 3-point articulation point on the knee, so it goes 1, 2, and 3. The ankle armor can articulate up and down. And as for the feet can fold itself, and this is again due to the transformation gimmick. If there's one point that I should point out is that the side-to-side movement is not that great. It's very sturdy, so it holds the kit very well. However, because of these armors in place, it cannot move very freely. However, you can rotate the ankle around 360, and again, because of transformation gimmick, this is possible. Kyrios has a lot of weapons that represent his high-speed combat, so let's take a look at them one by one. First, we'll look at Kyrios' main artillery weapon, the GN Beam Submachine Gun. The overall detail of the machine gun is very well done, as with its double barrel and then the side magazine generator. It also has a scope, as you can see here, represented with a sticker. You could also put the scope down just like that, and it's very cool. It's very hard to get it off, but you'll get used to it. The interesting about Kyrios' weapon is that each of the weapon has a handle, and this handle can be transferred over to other weapons as well. Next, we'll look at the GN hand missile unit. There's 2 in there, and this is to represent the famous scene that Kyrios has shot down the Institute. The overall detail here is very well done. Most of them are represented by each of the parts mold line. And as I said before, you could attach this to one side just like so. One thing I really wish that Bandai had done is to create the inner missile detail. So I don't think this is represented in the anime itself, but this one does not open. It's just a solid part. So if you take a look at it inside, you will not see a detail of the missile. And again, this is just so that I guess it just fits well. But overall, it looks really cool. And yeah, that's all I can say about this missile units. Kyrios has this very cool looking shield, and as you can see right here, it represents its main color, orange. And you could attach this to the back of the elbow, as you can see from the joints right here. This one also rotates, and this one also has a very interesting gimmick. If you pull out the shield, you can see that it will extend and you'll allow to rotate it at any different angles. And the front of the shield you could open up in a claw form. This is what the shield is capable of. It is essentially a claw that you could grab the enemy, and the Kyrios Gundam can also stab the enemy. Pretty sadistic if you ask me. Once you get that all done, you could insert the blade that comes with this kit onto the shield. And there you have it. This is GN Shield in a claw form. Kyrios has these 2 beam effects part that different from the other MG kits that we're used to. This one has a more flat type of a beam saber, and the beam saber itself is located at the back skirt. So you just pop it in there and then just take the beam saber out. And this is what it looks like when you attach it to the beam saber itself. Finally, Kyrios has 6 switchable different type of hand parts, as you can see right here. Those include the closed hand, the rifle hand, and the open hand. If you're a 00 fan, then you know that there is a secret LED gimmick on each of the 00 kit. So this LED unit is sold separately, and the GN drive inside the torso is where you would put it in. For this kit, you will need 2 LED kits for the front and the back. And taking out the LED unit is very simple. All you gotta do is just open those up and just pull them very, very carefully. And here you have the unit. To place the LED, there is a special kind of switch that you can see right here, and you have to match it up with the actual LED switch, so that once you've inserted in, you could twist it and the LED will turn on just like so. Once you insert the LED unit, simply close the lid and you're ready to go. Once you have both LED units installed, simply put it back in the torso and let the Kyrios shine. Look at how bright this is. This is one of the best thing about the 00 kits is the LED unit on this chest. I also put a different color LED just to show you what the backside looks like. Just remember to remove the lid on the back. And it's now time to transform into the flight mode. So the transformation instruction is in the manual itself, and it doesn't look that complicated. I'm just glad that you could just do it just right on the spot. Alright, let's see how this looks like. Let's get to it. And here it is all transformed into flight mode. I really love how it looks like in flight. Kind of looked like a wave rider to me, but more slick and modern. The overall transformation process was very simple to do, and this was very nice. One interesting detail that they have for this kit is if you open the cockpit, you're gonna see some sort of like a Gundam head. That one is Gundam Abuhol, which was the second generation mobile suit that was the prototype for the Kyrios. Pretty neat stuff. Today we looked at the MG Gundam Kyrios, and I think this is going to be one of my favorite kit that I have built so far. The overall build quality is very superb, and the posability of this kit is quite amazing if you take a look at it. You could have Kyrios to do a lot of different poses at your will, and I had a lot of fun building this kit and also posing this kit as well. The LED gimmick and the transformation gimmick is also a very nice touch, so if you're a 00 fan, this is a must-have kit. With that being said, this has been EA Spuds from the Plamo Build Report, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye!